The data center market itself for networking is really thriving. It's $22 billion market, growing 10% year to year, meaning in 4 years, it'll be $32 billion. A lot of that growth actually is coming from AI ML workloads. In fact, if you just take the AI ML portion, that's growing, depending on who you ask, north of 46% year to year. So it's really an exciting opportunity, and certainly for Juniper, we've been focused on networking since we were founded. That's all we do. But over the last many years, we've also built an expertise in AI as well. And so it's exciting for us to bring these together and to bear to really help our customers as they're embracing this new trend. And so when you think of AI ML workloads, a lot of people think of ChatGPT and these massive training clusters, and certainly that's one use case. But beyond that, there is a lot of traffic that's going to be generated across many different parts of the network. There is the training cluster, but there are also the inference clusters that a lot of times they're closer to the edge. You also have storage clusters. You have what we call the backend network, but there is also the front network. And so there is going to be a lot of different opportunities to focus on when it comes to AI ML. And Juniper certainly is going to be focused on many of them. So in terms of technology and what are the key pieces of technology, certainly speeds and feeds, and just building out these massive clusters. We're at 400 gig today, but 800 gig is coming very quickly, and then 1.6 terabit per second. We need to innovate when it comes to optics. At the end, we need to even innovate when it comes to topologies in order to really minimize the cost of these clusters, but also the latency incurred in these clusters. At the end, what's really critical is what AI ML experts call this job completion time. What you want is, when you think about it, these GPUs cost $30,000 each, or even more than that. And so when you're putting together a cluster, even if it's just 100 GPUs, and in some cases they're like thousands of GPUs, that is millions and millions of dollars of investment. And so you really want to utilize these GPUs to maximum capacity. And so any inefficiencies there costs you millions of dollars. That's number one. Number two, when you're training, what you're actually doing is you're going through iterations. They call them epochs. And so you want every one of those iterations to finish before you can start the next one. And so if your job completion time is longer by 20%, that could mean that now it's going to take you many more days, if not weeks, to train on the data sets that you're interested in. And so in order to accomplish that, you really need the expertise in all of these building blocks, to get the best speeds and feeds, the lowest latency, the highest throughput. But in addition to that, you also need to tune those parameters. And you need to have a lot of visibility. They call it visibility and observability into what's contributing to latency and to performance into these clusters. And this is where, beyond just data feeds and speeds, which Juniper is an expert at. That's, we've been doing that for many, many years since we were founded. There is also software. This is where software comes to play. And of course, I'm the founder of a company called Apstra, and we've always focused on software to operate data center networks, and that comes in extremely handy in the context of an AI ML cluster. Because you have to think of it this way: there are all these parameters that we have to train, that we have to tune, and you can do all of this manually. But if you're doing it manually, you're doing it inefficiently. And as I just said, if you do things inefficiently, then ultimately you're costing yourself much longer job completion times and many, many millions of dollars of waste. And so what you really want is some sort of a self-driving software that is kind of tuning these parameters automatically without you having to do anything manually. That is essentially where Apstra comes in, and where Juniper has really built expertise around operations in order to really deliver the right performance for those AI ML workloads.
you.